I keep having issues with the buckets. I should actually, I should have made more than, or brought more than one bucket. Or, I say that, let's just build a bucket. Apparently he's done building his beds, so that's good. Let's build a couple of buckets just so that we have them around. And, over here, Mason's Workshop, you know what, we're going to wait until we have a stone for the doors. But, since we've got the beds, and right now they're just cluttering up the Mason's Workshop, let's drop them down. Over here. Something like that, I don't know. Then we'll turn that into a bedroom. Miners are still digging this all out. Alright. I'd like to dig down and start getting some stone, but that's not the end of the world. I'm going to pause the recording for a sec while they finish their work. Okay, so, oops. There we go. My my farm here is done filling. Everywhere's got water, and the couple of squares that don't still have the light dusting of mud, which is perfect. That's all I need, so I'm going to go up one level, hit my I button for the designations, and actually remove this zone. And instead, we're going to add a pit right over here. Oops. Still have to remove. Alright, sorry folks, got interrupted by a phone call just then. Hopefully, yeah, where are we? Oh, yes, so this pond, or this farm at the bottom is all done and filled up, that's fine. So now I'm designating a new pond at the upper channel. And I've set up the pond, good, 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 excellent. And it's there, yeah. I set it in, okay, yeah, looking good, so now someone's going to start filling that top one. And now what we can do is build a farm plot over here, and like that, and one of my intrepid farmers will come and turn that into a farm. How much faster is that than the way I was doing it before? Now there is actually a slight security risk here because this spot is open and technically something could come in through here, but there's no ramp, and so anything that walks won't just jump in. A flying creature might, but it's not as much of a concern, and in a little while I'm probably going to put a hatch cover on top of that just to block it off, and then the concern will be gone completely. So, that's good. This is going along pretty well here. So, this is sort of half of the space I was, well, not half, it's like 80% of the space I was hoping to use, but that's going to be perfectly fine. So we're going to move our food down there right away. We're going to make a huge food stockpile because we will want to use it, so that'll be awesome. And people will start moving our food down here, and hopefully it won't be robbed quite as easily. Now, this is not a very defensible location, the way this... In fact, something... What the fuck are those things? Oh, that's a raw turtle. Oh, so I guess someone was just carrying that in. They look like frogs. I thought creatures were walking into our base, but that's... Who's fishing again? For to win. He's catching turtles, doing a really good job. Awesome stuff there. And actually, then, since we've got that going on, let's build a fishery so we can process those turtles into proper meals. And let's put it over here. And yeah, that's awesome. Process them into the proper meals, plus it'll remove their shells, and we can use their shells for various crafts later on. I'm also going to build a... Oh, no, I don't really want a butcher shop. I got techniques for butcher shops. You know what? We're just going to build the butcher shop right outside. And the reason is, sometimes the butcher shops get backed up, and all the meat inside of them starts to rot, and then that stinks up the place. So we're just going to build it outside, and the air can carry all that rot away, the miasma, and it won't be a problem. Alright, folks. Just had to pause for a little bit there. Had some dinner. Just right back. And let's see where we left off. We've got a lot of dwarves carting stuff back and forth. Oh, they're bringing the food down to the stockpile I set up. So I'm having to reacquaint myself with the game here. I don't remember exactly where things got left off, but it looks like our fort's going pretty well. We got a lot of space. Very nice going on here. And that's one of the things, like, I tend to pack things in pretty tight, and even then, this is fairly tight, and there's no reason. You actually have lots and lots of room to do things, because, I mean, this is actually a pretty big level. You could, you know, virtually do everything you ever needed to do on one level if you really had to, but you've got, like, hundreds of levels in this. I guess while these guys are still kind of busy working, let's set up another stockpile, and for furniture, because furniture is one of those things that we use a lot of space. All your empty barrels, a lot of things you construct, all go down with furniture. So while they're building that, let's take a sneak peek at what we have planned for the basement. So this for top level is not going to be that well defended. Now we are going to build a fort at the top here, but that's only a first line of defense. And so these are all kind of vulnerable if something really bad happens. So when we get to sort of our real construction, I want it to be a lot more defensive. So that's part of the reason I've got this curl going on here. So we can have a series of traps and some guard dogs and things like that. And part of the reason it's curled is that if something comes in here with ranged weapons, they can't just shoot anything we have here. So it's going to be a hallway full of traps, and I'm going to have some guard dogs here, and potentially set up, you know, troops or something, I don't know. We could set up ballistas, like right down here, to shoot at intruders. A lot of options we can explore as we go forward. You know, maybe this will even be carved out here, haul it out, and then a set of fortifications here so people can shoot people with crossbows. We'll see. If we go down a level, there's nothing here. Again, we've got so much vertical space. It pays to sort of space things out a bit, and then you've got room for anything that you might want to do later on. Let me pause here at this point because it's taking a little bit of time. Another level that's blank. This is going to be a stockpile level. Again, I've left gaps in here because, not that they can mine down here yet, but when they do, I only want them to mine out a little bit at a time so we can get started. So this is going to be a stockpile level. Obviously, people can access the stockpiles just coming down the main staircases, but there's also a staircase in the middle here, and that will connect to our workshop level right down here. So you can see I've got room here for a big series of workshops and then a central room that leads up to a stockpile, because they could walk to the middle and then go up and then use the stockpile. But this way, I'm going to try to make the stockpiles relevant to whatever workshops are just underneath. And in fact, there's another layer of stockpiles below. You can see I'm going to be doing the same thing there. So the workshops here will have a stockpile directly above and below them that hopefully will contain relevant stuff. You know, maybe one will have the raw materials, and then another stockpile will be where the finished product goes, something like that. We'll play it by ear. And then I've got a little bit of extra space here. That way there's going to be a full two levels where there's not any construction going on, because the workshops are loud. So then we've got stockpile level, empty level, and here we're going to have apartments. That is to say, the rooms for the dwarves and a big dining hall. I haven't decided how to lay it out yet. I just wrote down app here so I could remember that this was the apartment level. And then that's it. But, you know, you've got like hundreds more empty layers built beneath this. Literally maybe like 200 layers. Of course, some of those layers may have something more than just empty rock, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So that is my plan. Let's resume this again. See how things are going. Excellent. Now, we are going to want some mechanisms. Oh, we don't have any rock yet. Okay, we're pretty much done with the digging, so alright, let's start excavating down below. And hopefully we'll start clearing some rock, and then we can use that for some construction. Go miners, go! I've got 0 idle people right now. That's because they're carrying stuff to the stockpile, drinking, digging. Alright, good stuff. Oh, ran into a small problem here. We're hitting some more damp stone. So I may have to redo my plan here, depending on exactly what we hit. And let them keep digging as much as they can, but I feel like the damp stone, yeah, how odd. And my miners are hungry, so they're going to go eat a drink. I mean, the problem is, it's probably fine. Yeah, it's just because this is soil underneath a lake. That's why it's damp. I'm sure I can dig it out. Well, what the hell? It's early. If I flood my fortress, it's not necessarily the end of the world, right? I'm just gonna cancel that designation so they don't keep digging in that direction. Yeah, because even the soil from above, from my farm, seeped down into here to create some wet terrain. So, yeah, I'm not worried. I think my miners. Oh, they're going to sleep. Oh yeah, there's the bed. I don't have any doors yet, right? Nope. Because I don't have any stone. So I can't turn into a proper dormitory, but they're still smart enough to find a bed to go in to sleep in. Yeah, see, I just dug out that damn stone, and it was fine. So I bet, yeah, we can dig this out too, and we'll be okay. Cross your fingers. Alright, yeah, we've dug out the rest of the food stockpile. I just redesignated the stockpile. We're fine there. We're fine here. Everything is okay. It's just this soft, this loamy soil just causes some confusion there for my dwarves. But we shouldn't run into that error anymore as we start dropping down. Hey, and we've struck some limonite somewhere. And bauxite too, really? Where are we seeing that? Oh, look at all this stuff. So limonite is great, and you can see in this tile set, it's really, really handy. It has the Fe there, which tells you that this ore, which is limonite, actually is an ore of iron. So you can smelt these into iron bars, which is very, very nice. They've got a few other identifiers here. This is a gem. Yeah, it's banded agate clusters. You can see it's a kind of a gem symbol, and a single dot underneath it means it's the lowest value gem. The next will have 2 dots, and then 3 dots for the really expensive stuff. We've got hematite as well. Excellent stuff. We are just we're doing really well here in terms of really useful rocks. I don't think we've run into any flux stone yet, so we will need that if we want to make steel, but that's not really an immediate concern. And there should be flux stone somewhere. It's possible we'll have to dig down really deep to find marble, but if we're lucky, we might run into some dolomite at a higher level. I'm not sure. Adventuring, yeah, we're finding gems and everything. Really, really nice. Okay. Well, you guys keep at it. We'll be right back. Alright, so the digging project continues, but I've actually just hit some lignite, which is this flamey icon material here. That's very cool. Lignite is, it's flammable. It's basically you can burn it like coal. You do have to process it a little bit, but that makes me really happy. Now, the question that always comes up when I find something like this is, do I ruin my pretty design by digging into it? Now, in this case, I think it'll be fine, because this will basically act almost like a side tunnel. The fact that I've got iron-bearing materials all over the place, and a little bit of lignite, and lots of trees. I mean, look at the surface. It's just littered with trees. Very heavily forested area. It reminds me again, what do we got kicking around? Just deer. Okay, well, we'll need a hunter at some point. Makes me think an early metal industry would not be uncalled for. It's always a little bit of a pain in the ass because it does use a lot of materials to produce, but if you can start producing metal pretty early on, that's an awfully nice thing to do. Now, the thing is, I can produce iron, and one thing to keep in mind is, just like in real life, iron is actually a very soft material. Steel is hard, but iron is kind of shitty. And in fact, you're better off making like bronze weapons rather than iron weapons. The problem is that bronze is actually a little harder to come by, which apparently historically is why they stopped using bronze initially, because it's just they ran out of bronze basically. So I don't know. I mean, then we can start making all kinds of iron things. Then we literally don't need wood for anything except beds. I mean, we can make iron barrels, but like, look at all, I mean, we got all these trees, so we have the potential to start an early iron industry, but I don't think there's any reason to rush into it. I think I may start turning this lignite into coke, into refined coal, just so I have it around, and it'll help if I want to smelt any gold or anything like that, but otherwise I'm not terribly concerned. While these guys are still digging, let me take a moment and show you a program that's very nice to use called Dwarf Therapist. This shows you, let me make sure it's up to date, shows you all the dwarves in your fortress. Normally it would show you like this. I like to group it by profession. And what skills they've been assigned. The white square shows their skill level, and the blue square shows that they've been assigned to work that skill. Now, I could assign someone, like let's say Wraith here, I could assign him carpentry if I wanted to by just clicking that and then clicking commit changes, and then he would also start working on carpentry jobs. He wouldn't be very good at it to start off with, although ultimately, eventually, over time, he would build up that skill. It's a very nice way. When you've only got 7 dwarves, it's pretty easy to manage just through their normal interface, but when you've got a bunch, it's really nice to group them like this. Plus, there's no easy way in the game to see, oh,